downloadable content,
microtransactions,
DRM,
pre-order DLC,
dislike content, blind, stupid fucking fanboyism.
What's up, gamers? Welcome to Gamer Rant. My name's Kevin. I actually, not too long ago, finished the Last of Us Part 2. That was... Damn. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Today, what we are going to be discussing is the potential rumor that the next generation is going to cost $70, the video games. Here's the first sign that next-gen games might get a price hike. NBA 2K21 costs $70 on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, no free upgrade. So if you've been living under a rock, a few developers who are releasing games on the current generation and the next generation, some of them have stated that if you are buying it on the current gen, you'll get a free upgrade to the next gen. I have no clue exactly all the conditions or terms of that, so that's not the point of this video. So yeah, you can look that shit up yourself, whether it applies to the physical or digital only, blah, 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 blah. So not only that, but their crossplay is only going to be found in the Mamba Forever edition, which is $100 in the next generation version. So the I'm not going to call it the standard. The overpriced $70 version it doesn't even have crossplay in it. So there's that one for you. But the point of this is I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on, well, the potential of a price hike for the next generation. All right, as well as it relates to NBA 2K21. So as it relates to NBA 2K21, I'm going to say it objectively is not warranted or needed, because this is a company, just like Electronic Arts, who cares more about microtransactions than creating an honest, good sports game. They're more about developing microtransactions than developing and innovating within the sports genre itself. The only thing they seem to be innovating is the microtransactions. And to me, mixed with the microtransactions of the sports genre and the constant updates that are required for the previous two generations, I'm going to say previous two generations, even though technically we're still in one of them. The previous two generations, and no doubt the generation after that, it's just not warranted. You know, even if you want to sit here and say, well, games are becoming more graphically better, so it kind of makes sense that they're going to get like a $10 price hike. It's like, no, it doesn't. It wasn't warranted back in the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 era either. Because what a lot of people fail to realize is that, you know, graphics fade over time and they become garbage. Why should we pay more for something that is going to age? It's going to become less better as time goes on. To me, it makes no sense to pay more money just so the game can look pretty now, but years later will be outdated. And by that generation, probably considered on a visual basis looking like ass. And then, of course, you know, another issue here, as I've mentioned, is that, you know, day one update. Even a game like NBA 2K has day one updates because developers can't do their fucking job. And we're not going to put all the blame on publishers, because the developers are well familiar of the bed that they decide to climb in. And some of them don't even climb in bed with a publisher that forces them to meet deadlines and whatnot. They're just fucking lazy and do it themselves, like CD Projekt Red. Everyone glorifies CD Projekt Red, but they're just as fucking lazy as every other developer out there that releases games with day one updates. So, as opposed to NBA 2K21 and the sports genre in general, and in general the potential of next generation costing $70, it is objectively not needed or required because one, we live in what I'm going to refer to as the micro generation, which is the PlayStation 3, 360 generation, all the way up to the current generation that's coming up, is the micro generation, which is the microtransaction generation. All right? They're so hungry for money that they've lost sight that video games is an art form, and they're literally the only industry that creates literal accessories to the art itself and day one updates or updates in general. I've often seen people say, well, there are plenty of game-breaking games on the generations before. No, you're full of shit, because if you paid attention in math class, ladies and gentlemen, when you want to work out a percentage, you have to take the entirety, so the entire collection of retro games. You then have to actually look how many games that can actually be considered broken. Not they may be broken because of a bug that wasn't fixed, because as we know, some bugs don't affect everyone. So actual game-breaking games that are broken or broken missions, you're not even going to hit 1% mathematically. If we add in PlayStation 2, Nintendo GameCube, even the Wii, all right, and the Wii U, which I think those probably had updates. I never really owned either one of them, so I don't really know. So we may or may not be able to add them. But you get the point here. Even if we added various other consoles after the retro era, even handhelds, you're not even gonna hit a 0.00 whatever percent. But if you do it in this modern generation, the micro generations, there's going to be a shit ton of games after the servers go offline that are going to be broken. And even if not broken, they're still going to be incomplete. So why should we have to pay $10 more for an incomplete game, visuals that will be outdated anyway? I mean, you want to impress me. If there was a developer, if 2K, which obviously this isn't a thing, but if they were like, even with their bullshit microtransactions, if they were like, our graphics will never age, like we have created that kind of technology, all right? They will always look as good as they are now 100 years from now, all right? Doesn't matter what graphics come up, innovations, it will still look good on whatever fucking TV they create, which no developing company could make such a claim within of itself because they just don't know where technology would go. But let's just say they did manage to do something like that, or any game developer, then it might warrant a $10 price increase. But currently, no, because graphics become outdated, so you can't use that, well, graphics are becoming better as an excuse because they're just going to be outdated later on anyway. Not to mention, many games are sold incomplete and they require day one updates. How does that warrant $10? Why should I give a developer or publisher $10 more because they can't do their fucking job in the first place? That's my thoughts and opinions on this whole subject. I hope you enjoyed this video in some fashion or form. And remember, gamers, if you're not voicing your thoughts and concerns about the bullshit in gaming, you just might be a part of the motherfucking problem.